Good evening, YouTube. This is Charles, and I'm back with another video review, and this time inspired by my buddy JT Mitchell, who is doing a redo of his earlier Power Rangers Megazord video. I'm going to look at the Power Rangers Mystic Force Titan Zords and their various modes. Now, these guys all have 3 modes, which is, imagine that, Hasbro. So they have their Zord mode, their combined, Dragon mode for 4 of them, and then the Titan Megazord itself. Now, Mystic Force was based off the the Japanese Sentai series Maho Sentai Magi Ranger. So there's various similarities between the stories and such. And these guys are actually I'm going to call them the Rangers because, believe it or not, the Rangers in the series transform into these things, which is, I think, a first, at least in the US. But here we go. So I'm going to start with just going to move some of these other guys out the way, and I'll put them back up as I talk about them. Fair enough? Alright. So we're going to start with the red guy here. Now, believe it or not, this is the Red Ranger, and his name is Nick. Well, let's talk a little bit about the backstory for Mystic Force. Basically, at some unknown time period in the past, a great war was fought between the forces of the underworld, which were coming up and all dark and evil and stuff, and the rest of the magical world, because the forces of the underworld wanted to conquer them and then make their way into the human dimension. And like most magical battles, evil was winning until, 5 great magic warriors or magicians, wizards, what have you, came in and turned the tide, defeating the evil army and forcing it back underground. However, like most battles, it was not without loss. And us being the normal humans that we are, we didn't realize any of this took place until an earthquake near the town of Briarwood released the gate, and the battle began again. And we first introduced to Nick, who's riding a motorcycle into town. He's here obstinately to visit his sister, I'm told. And he's the last of the 5 guys to join up. And he's got some issues. Obviously, he's not real trusting at first. He's kind of brash in some ways. He does have an excellent entrance where he burst on the scene kicking somebody right in the head, which is kind of fun. And yeah, he's not a bad character, I would say. I mean, the idea behind him wasn't that bad. It's just, some things didn't work out too well. But as you can see here, this is his Zord form, and it's the Mystic Phoenix. And it comes with its little sword here. I'm just going to get it out of his hand, if I can. Sword's kind of nice, a little more rubbery here on the end than I would have liked, but what can you do? And while in town, he makes the acquaintance of some of these other characters. I'm just going to bring them out. I'm going to start with the big guy himself. This is Xander Bly, his Zord form. Xander is the Green Ranger. His element is wood, plants. Of course, his is fire, in case you can't figure that out by his red. And you can see he turns into a Minotaur. Xander's kind of an interesting character because he is a talker. He likes to talk. There's nothing he can't talk his way out of. He thinks he can charm pretty much everyone, or specifically any woman he comes across, and unsurprisingly, he fails at it frequently, but he keeps plugging away at it. Now, Xander's usual response to any combat situation in the beginning, of course, is to try playing Xander, where he tries to talk to anyone, and probably gets laughed at or slapped down, as the case may see. Just gonna zoom in here, look on him. See, he's got the big ass form here, and he's got a little hand axe right here, which I thought was kind of funny. Now, while he can talk to pretty much any woman out there, there are 2 in particular, hand back, 2 that are immune to his charms. And this is one of them right here. This is the Mystic Mermaid, which is the Titan Zord form of Madison. Let's see, I think her last name was Roka, I think. Madison's kind of like the shy girl. She hides behind her video camera throughout the series. As a matter of fact, in the promos for Mystic Force, she was allegedly videotaping the other Rangers and showing them all, and it's a way for the viewers to get to know everything. Oh, and one more thing about Xander. He actually keeps his Australian accent as a character, which makes him the second Aussie in PR to keep that accent behind Kat Hillard, the second Pink Ranger. Madison, like I said, she's kind of the shy, bookwormy, well, not really bookwormy type, but she's kind of the shy type. She does take a bit of an interest in Nick. I guess we're supposed to imply some sort of relationship right there. And as you can see, she has a trident in this form. And she also has kind of like a folded up tail on her back. And the reason why she's shy is because, well, her little sister here, well, I'm not sure if she's her little sister, but she's little in this form, is Vita. And Vita is the Pink Ranger. And Vita is a DJ in the series, where you see she's constantly screwing around at turntables and such. She's not real fond of her color, pink. At least when we see her initially. She's kind of the tough girl, if you see. She is the sister of Madison here. Oh, Madison just dropped her trident. I really don't know if she's the older sister or the younger sister or whatnot, but she's probably one of the few that can smack Xander around upside the head and get him to cooperate, which is important. She has conflicts for everyone, but this guy, and this is Charles Thorne, or as he's referred to in the series, Chip. And he's kind of funny, and he's the geek of the group. Always likes to hang around comic books. He has some kind of odd hobbies that, believe it or not, are actually important to defeating some of the monsters they run across. And this is his sword form, which is that of a Garuda, which I believe is like a Thunderbird, I believe. Close to what he is. Yeah, he's one of the few. He gets along well with everyone else. Apparently, he wore a cape to school at once, I guess. I think it was kind of strange when he was, well, he said in high school. He's also an accomplished member of the chess team, which is important for how the series works, and an archer, which is again important for some of the other episodes later on down the line. Now, these four guys, Chip, Vita, Madison, and Xander, all work at a record store under the tutelage of Toby, who you'll recognize if you see him. He's playing the guy who played Piggy in Power Rangers SPD, and they managed to rope Nick here into getting a job. So that's just really the outline of the four characters, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about their beginnings in the next video, because it's got more characters to cover and some of the early episodes, as well as, well, the first combined form. So I'm going to stop the video now and prepare them for their combination. Alright?